up guys, welcome back to the channel, and for this one I wanted to do a bit of a review on Carnage because I had someone ask me in the comments what is the best build for him. Now guys, let me just go ahead and say this for the people who are new and are completely unaware. Carnage is the best combat supervillain in the game, bar none. No one else comes even close, and that's been the case since he's been released guys, and that's been a year now. This guy's been at the top, and I don't see him coming down anytime soon. And the main reason for that is because he's so far ahead of everyone else, guys, and he doesn't even have a uniform. Let's take that in, guys. He doesn't even have a uniform, and he's well ahead of the curve. And if there was anyone from the premium character list that was going to get a uniform, it would definitely be him as the first one because he was the first premium character, so he's been out the longest, and he's one of the most popular ones in there. So if you guys are thinking about making a purchase and getting the monthly selector, I would highly recommend you get Carnage because although Amora is good, Carnage is more useful because there isn't many combat supervillains that are really good. I just wanted to say that for you guys first. Now, as for Carnage guys, he can dominate in every single game mode. Every single game mode. Timeline is the only one that he's going to take a little bit of a hit because of people like Odin, Doctor Strange, Dormammu, and Thanos to an extent. Apart from those four characters, there isn't very many characters that can keep up with just how high his survivability is and the massive amount of damage that he can put out. So that's just something for you to take in. Battle World, this guy will completely dominate in combat exclusive Battle World. Him and Iron Fist on your team, and you're golden. You're in the money, guys. You're in the money. I'm telling you. If you have those two, the only way you're gonna lose is if you're playing very sloppy, or if you come up against someone who has a better build for their Carnage and Iron Fist than you do. So that's something for you guys to keep in mind. Shadowland, guys, which I'm a very big fan of Shadowland. I love it. I enjoy playing it every single week. This guy right here, he can solo every single floor from 1 to 25. No matter what floor you put him on, there is always an option there for him to win. The only one that gives me any kind of resistance is floor 25 because of the fact that Daredevil has really high dodge. So that's something for you guys to think about. If you run into that problem, you might need someone like Bullseye for his ignore dodge leadership. But he can do it, trust me guys. But where this guy truly shines is in AB. We're not even going to talk about World Boss Mode because it goes without saying that he can beat them all. The only one that's going to give him any trouble is Black Dwarf and Infinity Thanos because of the fact that Black Dwarf has high physical defense and Thanos is Thanos. So, yeah. Where this guy really shines is friggin' AB, guys. And we're not talking about normal. Pretty much anyone can beat normal. Well, not anyone because it's combat, so yeah, there isn't very many good combat characters. But when it comes to extreme, guys, this guy is far and beyond the pack, guys. The highest score I've seen for Carnage, which is not my personal score, obviously, because my Carnage is still under construction, I've seen over 200k from this guy. That's crazy. There's barely any combat character that can get close to 100. Very select few can barely scrape by and get 100. This guy can put up 200k, guys. 200k. That's crazy. And we're talking on Combat Supervillain Day here, guys. We're not talking about Iron Fist Day where it's Combat Hero. We're talking about Combat Supervillain Day. Okay, guys? So this guy right here, this is why he shines so much and why everyone talks about the fact that he's so good. Because for that day in particular, he just completely dominates. So as for how to build this guy, I see people going with two different setups. However, the top guys always want to go with offense. You don't want to go with the second route that I see a lot of people going. I see them going with recovery ISOs, which you don't want to go with that. Trust me, guys, Carnage has way too much survivability in his kit for you to even think about going for anything other than offense. And what I'm talking about here, guys, is the fact that he has a full iframe on Insanity Strike and he has a full iframe on Camouflage Strike. So these two iframes, because of how long they are, guys, and the cooldown on them being so short, with max skill cooldown, you can stay in them all the time, even if you don't use any other skill. It's freaking crazy. And on top of that, once you get him to tier 2, guys, he gets freaking invincibility for 6 seconds, guys. there's no reason to go anything other than offense with this guy. No reason at all. So you want to go with an offensive ISO set. Now, which ISO set is up to you, because let me just run you guys through his build real quick. So you want to go with physical or all. The first two slots here, because I got such high percentages for the physical per level, I left them. But usually you want to go for physical attack per level in the first slot, and then from there you want to go physical or all attack. But like I said, because I got really good percentages for the first two, I left them, and it should work out to be pretty much the same thing. Next slot, I went for energy, and the reason why is because most of the OP characters in the game are energy based, and because I got really high percentages, I just left them, but usually I would generally go for all defenses. Next, I went for HP per level, and as you guys can see, I got really high percentages here again, which is probably something I purposely rolled for because I was really obsessed when I got my Carnage. So yeah. As for the rest, all HP. Now, this fourth slot right here is up to you, because as you guys can see, Carnage doesn't get any native skill cooldown. So if you roll an ISO set that is not Hawk's Eye, so if you roll Overdrive or Power of Angry Hulk, you're going to have to either put skill cooldown on the fourth gear or as Urus, or if somehow if your cards already have 36%, then you might not need to put any on him at all. So that's something for you to think about. The fourth slot right here is very, very tricky. You're going to need to figure out what you're missing, because for Carnage to work as effectively as possible, you're going to need to have 36% skill cooldown and be in a level 30 alliance. Okay, guys? So as you guys can see right here, I have 41%, which is 5% over. But it is what it is. I can't really do much about it because 8% is coming from Hawk's Eye. And if I change that, I will be below what I need for my Carnage to shine. So that's something for you guys to figure out for yourself. What is your card setup and what ISO set you need from those three in particular. Now, as for the Obelisk, guys, the Obelisk, you want to go with something like I have here, ignore defense, because you need to make sure you have max defense penetration or ignore defense. So I went with ignore defense, 180 for the damage proc, and I got really really upset when I got immunity to fear, because fear is pretty useless. I think I can only think of two characters that use fear skills, and that's Supergiant and friggin' I think is Venom. Apart from that, no one really uses fear, so I was kind of really upset. But I'm not going to change this anytime soon because the damage proc is so freaking high. So yeah, this is my build for him. And as for the skill rotation, guys, I generally open with the 5, then hit the 4, then the 3, then back into the 5. However, if you have really high attack speed, so I'm talking 115% or higher, you can probably squeeze in the 2 skill or the 1 skill. So you could go 5, 4, then you could go 2, and then right into 3. And since your attack speed is so high, the invincibility that you get from using Insanity Strike will still be up when you're finishing up the 2 or the 1, depending on which one you choose. And then you can go right into 3 without ever being at risk of taking damage. So that's something for you guys to think about, which is something I'm personally going to try to do, because then you can squeeze out even more damage out of this guy. And this is my build for him, and I'm able to easily get over 130k for Combat Supervillain Day. And although that's not nothing impressive, I just wanted to share this with you guys for those of you guys that are wondering what's the best build for him. Now, as for Urus, which I'm going to put some Urus on this guy soon, as you guys can see, I have max defense penetration or ignore defense. Sorry guys, that's programmed into my head. I'm still dealing with the ignore defense as the actual name now. So as you guys can see, I have max ignore defense, pretty high crit damage, and pretty good crit rate. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to put 2 physical attack Urus in the first slot here, 2 crit damage, and I'm probably going to try and put either attack speed or crit rate in the 5th, and I'm going to just repeat that for all 4 slots, because I want to get him as close as I can to 200% crit damage and as close as I can to 75% crit rate, which is the max, guys, because Crit rate works very similar to dodge, where the closer the enemy is to being the same level as you, the lower your crit rate will be. So like if I'm level 60 and I'm going up against you and you're level 60, my crit rate, if it's at 75%, will only be at about 25 to 30% chance of actually hitting a crit, which I know is friggin' confusing as hell, and it is still confusing to me, but that's kind of how it works, guys. Which is why a lot of people prioritize crit damage over crit rate, because it doesn't get a cut depending on how high a level your enemy is. So, yeah. And just to show you guys some gameplay with this guy, I guess I'll just go ahead and take him into normal AB on the combat day, because why the hell not? And I'll just show you guys, this is the team that I normally use for combat supervillain day. However, I usually just take off the friggin' uniform of Red Hulk, and this is the team that 90% of the player base use for the top alliances. I don't know of any other team that you can use for Carnage on the supervillain day that's gonna get you a really high score. And the reason why everyone does is because of the 30% leadership from Hulk, the 6% all attack here, and the 5.7% attack speed, which is what everyone tries to take advantage of, because the higher the attack speed, the more skills you can get off while still being in the invincibility bubble from the insanity strike. So with that said, guys, let's get in here and see how this guy gets through this. Let's roll. Oh yeah, guys, there's one thing that I completely forgot to mention that makes Carnage even better, is the fact that on top of the fact that he has two really long freaking iframes, one of those iframes, which is the 3 skill, whenever he comes out of the iframe, it gives him 2 effects. He will leave these little pools on the ground, as you guys can see right here, where if the enemies walk over them, it will give them an all-speed debuff applied to them. Or if you walk over them, or any of your allies, if you're in, say, Battle World, it will actually heal you. So, on top of the iframes, this guy also has a triggerable heal, which to me, guys, makes it so it's pretty much a no-brainer that you want to go with an offensive ISO set, offensive Obelisk, and all that other good stuff. Because on the off chance that you do take damage like I did right there, you can just easily, very, very easily, just walk over here, pick up some health, and then go right back to your business. It makes it so even a friggin' new player or a sloppy ass noob like me can play someone like Carnage and get a lot of stuff done. This guy somehow hit me in my iframe, but it all works out. I'll just walk back and pick up a HP bubble. It's no big thing. And there you have it, guys. Carnage just pulled off a very easy solo, even when me, a complete noob, was using him. And that's all I have for this one, guys. Like always, thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm gone.